The Willow Road. A Georgia horror story, United States. It started the way most terrible things start in small southern towns, with two girls who were absolutely certain they knew better than everyone else. Evergreen Tree. Haley Cross and Savannah Pierce had grown up in Cedarville, Georgia. Population 847. One gas station. One diner. One school that went from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade because there wasn't enough population to justify splitting it up. They had been best friends since 3rd grade and shared one fundamental personality trait above all others. Neither of them believed in anything they couldn't explain. Faced with steam from nose. "I'm going to figure out what's actually on that road tonight," Haley said. She was holding a flashlight in one hand and her phone camera in the other. "Someone is doing something out there to scare people, and I'm going to find out what." Mobile phone. "Completely agree," Savannah said. "People in this town have been scared of Willow Road for 40 years. 40 years of avoiding one stretch of road because of what? Stories? Rumors? Nobody has ever actually investigated it properly. Until tonight." "Until tonight," Savannah confirmed, smiling face with smiling eyes. Willow Road was a half-mile stretch of unpaved path that cut through the woods on the south side of Cedarville. 3 massive weeping willow trees grew along it. Old ones, the kind that had been there before the road, before the town, before anyone currently living could remember. Their branches hung all the way to the ground, and in daylight they were genuinely beautiful. Green curtains of trailing leaves that moved in the slightest breeze. Herb. At night they were something else entirely. The stories about Willow Road had been circulating in Cedarville for as long as anyone could remember. People said that after dark the branches moved without wind, that you could hear bells sometimes, small ones, like ankle bells, coming from somewhere in the trees. That a woman in a white dress had been seen hanging from the highest branch of the center willow, upside down, with her hair trailing to the ground and her eyes open and black. Ghost. Most adults in Cedarville had learned to drive the long way around after sunset. The ones who had tried Willow Road at night came back changed, quieter, jumpier, refusing to describe what they had seen. 2 girls from the high school had gone out there 3 months ago. Their flashlight and camera had been found on the road the next morning. The girls had never been found. Skull. Haley and Savannah knew all of this. They had decided it was mass hysteria combined with the specific cruelty of small-town rumor mills. They were wrong. Fearful face. They stepped onto Willow Road at 9:45 p.m. The Georgia summer night was warm and humid and should have felt comfortable. It didn't. The air on Willow Road had a quality to it that was different from the air anywhere else. Heavier, stiller, like air that had been in the same place too long. The weeping willows on both sides created a tunnel effect, their trailing branches forming walls on either side. Haley's flashlight barely dented the dark ahead of them. "New moon. You hear that?" Savannah said after about 2 minutes of walking. "Hear what?" "I don't hear anything." "Exactly. There's nothing. No crickets. No frogs. No, anything." Anxious face with sweat. She was right. The Georgia night should have been loud with insects. It wasn't. The silence on Willow Road was the silence of places where the normal rules don't fully apply. "Animal thing," Haley said. "Predator nearby. Makes everything go quiet." "Right," Savannah said. She didn't sound convinced. Neither did Haley. Then they heard it. Both of them at the same moment. Coming from somewhere in the trees ahead, a soft rhythmic tinkling. Like ankle bells. "Moving." "Okay," Savannah said. "That is bells. That is definitely bells. And there is a person wearing bells walking around in these woods right now. So we find them," Haley said. "That's exactly what I said. Someone is doing this on purpose to scare people. Let's go find them." Faced with steam from nose. She went left. Savannah went right. They agreed to shout if they found anything. Evergreen Tree. Savannah was pushing through a curtain of willow branches when she heard laughter. From behind her. Very close. She turned. Nothing. "Hello." Her voice came out smaller than she intended. "Who's there? We know someone is out here. We're not scared." More laughter. Higher now. Coming from above. Savannah looked up, face screaming in fear. Hanging from one of the willow branches, upside down, heels hooked over the branch, long dark hair trailing straight down toward the ground, was a woman. White dress, arms hanging loose. And when Savannah's flashlight hit her face, the eyes were completely black. No whites, no pupils, just black from edge to edge. The woman smiled. Savannah screamed. Fearful face. Haley heard the scream and ran back. Savannah, Savannah, where are you? She pushed through branches in the direction of the sound. Savannah, answer me. Nothing. Her flashlight was cutting through the dark in every direction. Willow branches everywhere. The path was somewhere behind her, but she had lost track of which direction behind was. Savannah, this is not funny. I swear to God if you are messing with me right now. She came through a curtain of branches and stopped. Savannah was sitting at the base of one of the willow trees. Head down, hair covering her face. Savannah. Haley crossed the space between them in 3 steps and grabbed her friend's shoulder, face screaming in fear. The jolt threw her backward 6 feet, like touching a live wire. She hit the ground hard and lay there for a second, processing the fact that every muscle in her arm had seized simultaneously. Savannah. Her voice was barely a whisper now. Savannah, what happened to your hand? Savannah raised her head. She pushed the hair out of her face slowly. It was Savannah's face. The same face Haley had known since 3rd grade. Every feature exactly right, except the eyes. Savannah, Haley said. One more time. The way you say something when you already know the answer is going to be wrong. Skull. Savannah smiled. It was not Savannah's smile. Not even close. She moved faster than anything human should move and hit Haley in the center of the chest. And they were both on the ground, and whatever was wearing Savannah's face was sitting on top of Haley's chest and laughing. Friends don't leave each other. It said in a voice that was almost Savannah's voice. Almost. Let's stay here together. Forever. There's a branch with your name on it, face screaming in fear. Help. Someone help me. Help. The sound died in Haley's throat as if someone had reached in and switched it off. Her voice was just gone. She could feel herself screaming and hear nothing. The Georgia night around her was absolutely silent. And then the willows went still, and the darkness came down complete. Skull. The next morning, a group of Cedarville residents who had gone looking found a flashlight and a cell phone camera on Willow Road. The camera was still recording. The battery was at 2%. Nobody watched the footage. They already knew what it would show. They had been here before. Fearful face. 3 weeks later, a girl named Natalie drove down from Atlanta to spend the summer with her grandmother in Cedarville. Natalie was 16. She had her driver's license 4 months and had been listening to true crime podcasts for 2 years and was broadly of the opinion that she was significantly more prepared for the world than any adult she knew gave her credit for. Automobile. Her grandmother Dorothy was 74 years old and had lived in Cedarville her entire life and had the specific, unshakable calm of someone who has outlasted everything the world has thrown at her. She was sitting on the porch when Natalie pulled up, and she stood up and hugged Natalie for a long time before she said anything. Old woman, I am so glad you're here, Dorothy said. I have missed you something fierce. I missed you too, Grandma. Natalie pulled back and looked at her. You look good. I feel good. Come inside. I made sweet tea and I want to hear everything about your school year. Smiling face with smiling eyes. They sat at the kitchen table for 2 hours. Dorothy asked about Natalie's classes and her friends and a boy named Brandon that Natalie had mentioned once in a phone call 4 months ago and had hoped her grandmother had forgotten about. She hadn't. Eventually, Natalie said she wanted to go visit her childhood friend Lily, who lived 3 streets over. Dorothy said that was fine. She said to be home before dark. She said it the way grandmothers say things, like a statement of fact rather than a request. And Natalie, Dorothy caught her at the door. Stay away from Willow Road. Day or night, but especially night, old woman. What's Willow Road? South end of town. 3 big willow trees. You'll know it if you see it. What's wrong with it? Dorothy looked at her granddaughter for a moment. Things happen there that don't have good explanations. I've lived here 74 years, and I don't have a good explanation. So stay away. Anxious face with sweat. Natalie said okay. She meant it when she said it. Lily had grown up in Cedarville and had the specific knowledge that comes from living your whole life in one small place. She knew everyone and everything about everyone. She walked Natalie through the town for 2 hours. past the diner where apparently you could get the best biscuits in the county, past the old hardware store that had been there since 1952, past the elementary school where they had both gone, past the field where apparently a traveling fair set up every July. Cityscape at dusk. What's that road? Natalie said, pointing toward a gap in the tree line at the south end of town. The late afternoon light was hitting the weeping willows and making them look genuinely beautiful. Those trees are incredible. Lily's expression changed immediately. Don't what? I'm just looking. That's Willow Road. Don't look at it too long. Don't go near it. My grandmother said the same thing. Natalie was still looking. The sun through the willow branches was making patterns on the ground that shifted as the branches moved. What actually happens there? 2 girls went out there 3 months ago, Lily said quietly. Haley Cross and Savannah Pierce. They never came back. Their stuff was found on the road. That's it. That's the story. Crying face. Natalie looked at the willows for another moment, then looked away. Are those mango trees at the end of the road? Peach trees, Lily said. They're incredible. But Natalie, just for 10 minutes, Natalie said. To get peaches. In the daytime. While the sun is still up, faced with steam from nose. Lily looked at the sky. The sun was lower than she wanted it to be. 10 minutes, she said. And then we go? No argument. Absolute no argument, Natalie agreed. The peach trees were on a small hill just before Willow Road began. The peaches were exactly as good as advertised, warm from the sun, sweet and dripping. They filled Natalie's jacket pockets and Lily's backpack. Smiling face with smiling eyes. Okay, Natalie said. You were completely right. These are the best peaches I've ever had in my life. I know, Lily said. She was already looking at the sky. The sun had gotten significantly lower while they were picking. The quality of the light had changed from gold to orange. We need to go right now. Taking the last few. Natalie, right now? I am not kidding. Anxious face with sweat. They started back down the hill toward the main road and walked for 5 minutes. And the main road didn't appear. Natalie stopped, looked around. The trees were the same in every direction. The path they had come down was the same path they were walking on. She was certain of it. But the town lights that should have been visible through the tree line were not visible. Lily, I know. Lily's voice was very controlled. We should be at the road by now. I know. We took the same path we came on. I know, Natalie. Lily stopped walking. Look ahead, face screaming in fear. Natalie looked. The 3 weeping willows stood against the dark sky 20 feet ahead of them. They had ended up at Willow Road. The peaches fell out of Natalie's jacket pocket and she didn't notice. Skull. From somewhere in the willows came the sound of ankle bells. Soft at first, then clearer, moving, circling, getting closer without ever resolving into a direction they could run away from. Fearful face. Lily grabbed Natalie's hand. Whatever you do, Lily said quietly and urgently, do not look up. Do not look into those trees. Keep your eyes on the ground. And stay with me. What's up there? I said don't look up. Natalie looked up, face screaming in fear. The woman was in the highest branch of the center willow, upside down, white dress hanging loose toward the ground, dark hair trailing straight down, and the eyes, black, total black, looking directly at Natalie. I said don't look. Lily yanked her hand hard, and they were running. The laughter came from everywhere at once. High and cold and wrong in the specific way that things are wrong when they are pretending to be something they are not pretending very well. How dare you come on my road? The voice called from the trees. From above them. From the branches they were running under. Nobody leaves Willow Road. Nobody, face screaming in fear. They ran. They ran until their lungs burned. They ran past the willow trees and around a bend and past another bend and back toward the first willow tree. We're going in circles, Natalie gasped. Every time we run, we end up back here. I know, Lily said. She was bent over with her hands on her knees. Her face was pale and slick with sweat. This always happens. That's why nobody escapes. Skull. The laughter rang through the trees again. Closer now. Natalie straightened up. She looked at the willows. She looked at Lily. She reached into her jacket pocket. There was one peach left that hadn't fallen, and she looked at it for a second and put it back. Okay, she said. Her voice was shaking, but her eyes were steady. Tell me everything you know. Right now? Fast. What is this thing and why is it here? Lily grabbed Natalie's arm and they moved to the center of the road, away from the branches on both sides. Lily spoke fast and low. My grandmother told me the story when I was little. About 50 years ago, there was a woman named Eleanor who lived on the edge of town. She was a teacher, really dedicated. She had saved up her whole life to open a school for kids in this area who couldn't afford proper education. She walked these woods every day. She knew every path. Crying face. What happened to her? She was coming home through these woods one night with everything she'd saved, in cash, in a bag. 3 men from town attacked her, took everything. When she tried to fight back, Lily stopped. Started again. They hung her from the center willow, to make it look like something else. She died there. Her body was found the next morning, but nobody was ever charged. The men involved were respected people in town. Nothing ever happened to them. Natalie looked up at the center willow, at the branch where she had seen the woman hanging. Eleanor, she said quietly. Just the name. Into the dark air. The ankle bells went quiet. Lily looked at Natalie. Eleanor, Natalie said again. A little louder. My name is Natalie. I'm not from Cedarville originally. I don't have any connection to what happened to you. She paused. But I'm standing here and I'm listening. And I want to understand. The willows moved. Without wind. The branches near the ground lifted and fell like breath. She didn't get justice, Natalie said. She didn't get to open her school. She didn't get anything she was working for. And then she died for it, and the people who did it walked free. I don't know how to fix that, but I'm not going to pretend I don't know it happened. Broken heart. The laughter did not come. The bells did not come. The silence that filled Willow Road was a different kind of silence from before. Not the predator's silence of something watching. Something more like the silence of something listening. Crying face. Eleanor, Natalie said. We came in here for peaches. We are 16 years old, and we came in here for peaches, and we took the wrong turn, and we ended up here. We are not your enemies. We are not the people who hurt you. And we are scared, but we are standing here, and we are talking to you instead of screaming, because I think you deserve to be talked to, not screamed at. The center willow moved again. The branches parted. A shaft of moonlight hit the road between Natalie and the tree. The woman was there, not in the branches, on the road, standing, upright, her feet on the ground the way feet are supposed to be on the ground. The white dress, the long dark hair, the black eyes, watching Natalie. Ghost. Natalie did not run. She stood her ground with Lily's hand in a death grip on her left arm, and she looked at Eleanor, and Eleanor looked at her, and the night was very quiet around them. I'm sorry, Natalie said, for what they did to you, for what this town let happen to you. I can't fix it. I know that, but I want you to know that I know. Crying face. Eleanor's expression did not change exactly, but something in it shifted. The way a face shifts when someone says something unexpected in a moment where unexpected things feel important. You were a teacher, Natalie said. You wanted to build something. You spent your whole life working towards something, and they took it from you in one night. That is the most unfair thing I have ever heard, and I know that is not a strong enough word, but it's what I have. Broken heart. Eleanor opened her mouth. What came out was not words at first. It was a sound like wind through branches, like something that had been trying to form itself into language for 50 years and hadn't quite gotten there yet. Then slowly, painfully, it became something closer to words. They never paid, she said. The voice was like leaves, like something very old and very dry. They built their lives. They died in their beds. And I was here, crying face. I know, Natalie said. And that's not okay. None of it is okay. I stopped being who I was, Eleanor said. I became angry. I became the thing the fear made me. I forgot what I was before. Broken heart. What were you before? Eleanor looked at her for a long moment. A teacher, she said. Then be that again, Natalie said. You can't get back what they took. I know that. But you don't have to be the rage forever. The people who hurt you are gone. Hurting us won't reach them. Who are you? Eleanor said. Not a challenge. A real question. Just a girl who came in here for peaches, Natalie said, and ended up having a conversation I was not expecting to have, smiling face with smiling eyes. Something moved across Eleanor's face. Something that was almost a smile. Something that was almost. The light came from Eleanor outward. Soft, like the light through willow branches at the right time of afternoon. Like something releasing. Like something finally, after 50 years, putting down what it had been carrying. Dove. The light faded. The road was just a road. The willows were just trees. The ankle bells were gone, and the laughter was gone, and the black eyes were gone, and the woman in the white dress was gone, and Willow Road was just an unpaved path with 3 very old, very large willow trees that moved gently in a Georgia summer breeze. Herb, Natalie and Lily stood in the middle of the road and breathed for a minute. How did you know to do that? Lily asked finally. I didn't, Natalie said. She was a person, before she was whatever she became. And I thought maybe nobody had talked to her like a person in a very long time. Broken heart. They walked back to the main road. It appeared exactly where it should have appeared. 2 minutes down the path. No circles, no doubling back. Just the road, and beyond it the lights of Cedarville. Cityscape at dusk. Dorothy was on the porch when Natalie got home. She stood up when she saw Natalie coming and looked at her face for a long. Heard the laughter. People still took the long way around after dark. Old habits, old town, old memories. But when they passed the turnoff for Willow Road, some of them found themselves saying a name they hadn't said in years or maybe ever. Eleanor Marsh. Just saying it. Into the Georgia night air. The way you acknowledge something that is true whether you say it or not. The willows moved in the breeze. Just willows. Just trees. Just a road in a small Georgia town where something terrible had happened a long time ago and had finally been allowed to rest. Dove. The end ghost.